How's it going, everybody? I'm back. I am not an attorney. This is not legal advice. If you want legal advice, contact an attorney. I am basically a guy that knows nothing about law, has been nothing but lucky in winning in court, and is making a video for entertainment purposes only. So let's begin. I've been winning. Actually, I've won a couple cases already, and quite a few. And I only believe I've been able to do so by the grace of God. Of course, I can do nothing without Him. He is my Father and my keeper, and therefore will protect me from all of these evil people that are, in my opinion, doing nothing more than stealing from their brothers and sisters. That's what they're doing. So, hey, I have to defend myself, and how I do that is by reading their laws and reading God's laws. And in the end, it's pretty much, it's really similar, very similar, but the only difference is that lately, it's the man-made laws have been almost geared towards taking money from people now. If you start realizing a lot of laws, it's just about, okay, well, a lot of states now are saying, well, you won't go to jail. We'll amend this and we'll take that, and so now you don't go to jail, but you have to pay a fine. So therefore, it kind of strips you of your constitutional rights of a trial by jury. But even then, I mean, I can go into this for days, but the point of this video is that I never honestly pictured myself doing anything like this. I was pretty much forced into it, and I thank God that I was, because I guess it's just what my calling. I'm good at what I do. I can research, and I'm not scared of speaking my mind, and I make videos, and I could care less who sees it and who doesn't. But in the end, I'm gonna expose the city of Glendale for their racketeering activities that they are committing over there. And so we both know how this is gonna end, and the only way this can end is, of course, if I die, and that's it. Because it's my belief that the city of Glendale is doing this right here, conducting the affairs of the Superior Court to a pattern of predicate acts of racketeering in violation of Title 18, 1962D. Of course, that's just my belief. I could be wrong. We'll find out. However, I started looking. I said, well, you know what? These cops, they keep coming after me and giving me citations, or at least they haven't in a long time. But that's because I have been in Glendale lately. But the point is, they just haven't for whatever reason. Okay. Now, a lot of people are going to say, well, it's because you had expired tags, or because of this, or because of that. Okay, because you weren't wearing a seatbelt, whatever the case may be. I don't care. Personally, I don't believe the government can tell me what I can or can't do, as long as I'm not injuring anybody else. So if my tags are expired, I'm going to have to claim, hey, look, that's a civil matter. That's a tax issue, okay? So and if they want to be IRS or revenue agents here, then okay, they'll be revenue agents, but then there's a case where it says that they are not immune from suits as well. But let's get into this here. It says 241, conspiracy against rights. So this is what I'm gonna have to do so they can fear me, because if they don't fear me, I'm not doing anything yet, so haven't done anything as far as criminal charges, and I've been too busy defending myself. So I said, hey, it's time to not just defend yourself, but time to start filing charges. Now let's go here. It says, if two or more persons conspire to injure, oppress, threaten, or intimidate any person in any state. And I was talking to people that were going over this, and I said, but wait a minute, I know that the cops do this all the time, but aren't they immune? Don't they have immunity? I always play the devil's advocate, because I'm not going to go to court and realistically not argue for their side, because that way I'll be prepared for when they come up with obvious questions that I came up with, maybe even more that I have no clue that they can come up with, but I'll be somewhat prepared. This is how I train myself. So I always argue for their side and say, well, wait a minute, he's an officer, peace officer. He is working on behalf of this corporation or city, whatever you want to call it, and therefore he has immunity, or at least he has done his lawful duties. Okay, so now we start, okay, well, what's lawful? What's legal? What are their duties? What can they do? And so this is where they explain to me. It says, well, it doesn't say if two or more persons conspire to injure, blah, 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 except peace officers. Or if two or more persons except peace officers conspire to injure, and then whatever. It says right here, if two or more persons, period, basically. Okay, right or privilege. It says if they want to violate your free exercise or enjoyment of any right or privilege secured to him by the Constitution or laws of the United States, or because of his having so exercised the same. So, see, there's no exception here. Okay? Now, we go to Title 18, Part 1, Chapter 13, 242. Deprivation of rights under color of law. Whoever under color of any law, statute, ordinance, regulation, or custom willfully subjects any person in any state, territory, commonwealth, possession, or district to the deprivation of any rights. So if they deprive you of any rights, privileges, or immunities secured or protected by the Constitution or laws of the United States, or to different punishments, pains, or penalties on account of such persons being an alien or by reason of his color or race, then are prescribed for the punishment of citizens, shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 1 year or both, and if bodily injury results from the acts committed in violation of this section, or if such acts include the use, attempted use, or threatened use of a dangerous weapon, like maybe a gun, explosives, or fire, shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 10 years or both, and if death results from this thing, okay, whatever. Okay. Now I go on to Title 18, Part 1, Chapter 95, 1951. Now, in the state of California, and pretty much I believe in any state, they claim that I am in commercial activity. And you know, it's funny because I have been able to adapt to their little games. And so now I'm just going to adapt all over again. They were saying, oh, this is if you're engaged in commercial activity, and you know, and I would argue my motions. I'm not engaged in commercial activity. I have no nexus. They have no nexus with me in being in commercial activity. So therefore, you know, or me in nexus, me being in commerce. Okay, so now, you know, they want to say I'm in commerce, or I'm in some kind of commercial activity. Fine, because now if they want to play that game, I'll say fine. I'm not ever gonna do a motion again that says I'm not engaged in commercial activity. I'll accept it and say, you know, you want to call me Green and say that I'm green. Okay, fine. My name is Mr. Green. I am green. So now let's see what happens if you do something while I'm engaged in commercial activity. Whoever in any way or degree obstructs, delays. Now, when they stop me, they're delaying me from going somewhere, or affects commerce or the movement of any article or commodity in commerce. Hey, that's me because I'm in commerce. By robbery or extortion. Remember the word extortion. It's going to come up again. Or attempts or conspires to do so, or commits or threatens physical violence to any person or property. Physical violence. I remember a Glendale peace officer did that not too long ago. In furtherance of a plan or purpose to do anything in violation of this section, shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 20 years or both. And then it's going to go on to the definitions, but let me cut in here real quick. Now there's people that are going to say, yeah, but you know, they're not going to do that. They're not going to prosecute. Who's going to prosecute them? Because I was one of those people that would say that. And now I'm thinking, well, who would prosecute them? The Attorney General is supposed to prosecute them. The District Attorney can prosecute. So, alright, well, I'm going to see if they're going to really prosecute. And I'm going to find out real soon. So, remember that word extortion. It's going to be right here. It says right here. The term extortion means the obtaining of property from another with his consent. It could be anything. Driver's license, my keys, my registration, my insurance. But if it is induced by wrongful use of actual or threatened force, violence, or fear, or under color of official right. That's what that is. Okay, so now I want to play their game. See, they better be able to handle this now, because I'm a pro se litigant or sui juris, whatever you want to call yourself. I could care less. It's not about what you call yourself, it's about what you do. Just like a lot of people say they're American and they're not. They're more enslaved than anything else. Now, I found this very interesting. It's Title 18, Part 1, Chapter 109. Okay, you guys can look that up, but this is the one I found that I thought was really interesting. Title 18, Part 1, Chapter 109, 2236. Searches without a warrant. Whoever being an officer, agent, or employee of the United States or department or agency thereof, engaged in the enforcement of any law of the United States, searches any private dwelling used and occupied as such dwelling without a warrant, directing such search, or maliciously and without reasonable cause searches any other building or, here's the kicker, property. My car is my property. Without a search warrant, shall be fined under this title for a first offense, and for a subsequent offense shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 1 year or both. This section shall not apply to any person. Now this is what right here, A, B, and C, these are the people that it does not apply to because they are doing their job lawfully. Okay, A, serving a warrant of arrest. When an officer stops me for speeding, is he serving a warrant? Nope. Okay. B, arresting or attempting to arrest a person committing or attempting to commit an offense in his presence. Is that an offense? Nope. What do they say? It's a motor vehicle code violation. Is that an offense? Nope. Or who has committed or is suspected on reasonable grounds of having committed a felony. Well, does that apply then? Nope. Infractions are not felonies. Now remember, it said in any state. Officers cannot enforce civil law. Keep that in mind. Arizona and other states that are going, just people aren't even fighting. It's so obvious. Or C, making a search at the request or invitation or with the consent of the occupant of the premises. Well, did the officer ask me if he could stop me? Nope. Did he request? Nope. Did he have my consent? Nope. So, as you can see, it gets very interesting, and so I'm starting to read more of the Title 18s and the crimes that are committed, and also violations of rights of what I can sue for. So I'll keep you guys posted how that goes, and I want to thank you guys for your support, and I also want to thank the haters, because in the end, it only helps me out when you say cops can do this, because then I gotta research that and find out and say, hey, look, no, I was right. It says it right here. They can't. So I mean, I'm not gonna start going into debates as well with everyone, but you know, the law is the law, and if the officers don't follow the law, then they're breaking the law. And if they're breaking the law in order to enforce the law, then that's how, you know, drug dealers get, you know, they walk, because cops don't do their job. See, they're too busy giving out stupid citations. Now, that's just my belief. It's my opinion. This is what America is for people to have different beliefs and different opinions. So if you guys get upset and mad, it's only because you're either enforcing the laws that you shouldn't be enforcing, or you guys are just ignorant and don't want to research it yourself. It's that simple. See, I have nothing but time now, and it's all thanks to me making decisions, and it really comes down to God and helping me and protecting me from these evildoers that are, of course, impersonating people that are there to keep the peace when they're doing the opposite. And it's in my videos, so I'm not making things up. You see how cops talk, how they do certain things, and there are some cops that, I mean, are nice. I'm not saying they're not, but for the most part, that's rare nowadays. It really is. So I want to thank you guys for watching, and hopefully just do the research and start waking up, because in the end, there's only two type of people that will exist in this country: those that fight for their rights and those that submit and pay. And I mean, we're already there, but it's only going to get worse for those that want to submit and pay, because fines are going up. Because, you know, if you guys haven't realized this, but this country pretty much is going broke, because every state is going broke. So what do? They're gonna pretty much tax you again without, you know, it's like taxation without representation all over again, because they had to give our money away to the banks. So I hope you guys are upset about that, and if not, then that's, I don't know what to tell you. But thanks for watching.